You know, I usually start off and just say questions. But that was a hell of a basketball game right there. And I think both teams played at a really high level. The guys in the other locker room just fought. They could have cashed it in. I don't remember the exact time. I want to say 3-4 minutes. I think we're up 10, 11, something like that, and they could have packed it in right there, and they fought. Then we had our chances to end it. We didn't. Then we could have cashed it in. Fought. And I just think that's, basketball in this conference is terrific. That's a terrific team. That's a great win, not just a good win, that's a great win for us. That might be the first time I've opened up with a statement, so the same questions. Questions?
Can you speak about the difference in your first half and second half ability to score, particularly the three-point shooting that got so hot there for a stretch?
Well, it was a stretch there. Not just us, them. I mean, I don't know the numbers. It was just like it turned into a shootout. Let's see who can make the most threes. I felt like they were making 2 for every one of ours. I don't know what it was. I think that I think both teams probably made a few adjustments at halftime. I thought in the first half, offensively, I thought we did a very good job in the first half defensively. I mean, with the exception of transition defense, I think they had, whatever they had at halftime, I think 10 of those points were in transition. That was too easy. But offensively, we were stagnant. We were just kind of standing around looking at each other. And then the shot clock would wind down. And whoever had the ball would try to take his man. In the second half, I think we got more movement. And the guys, on top of everything else, we did a better job of getting 22 the ball.
Granted, you guys usually play them in Hartford, but this is the first time a Georgetown team has ever been here. Can you speak to that and how it might be the last one here too?
Yeah, I mean, Hartford, Stores, Fairfield, wherever this game is, this is a great game. I remember my first year here, I think was the last time, the only other time I coached a game here, and I remember that game vividly. I forget, it was Coach Calhoun's, I don't remember, 500, 600, 700 win, what number it was. And our team played horrible. We played horrible, and I remember probably with about, not that you guys care about this game, but it's stuck in my head. I want to say probably about 16 minutes left in the second half. I sat down with the starters and played the subs and the walk-ons the rest of the game just because the group that I had out there was bumbling around and didn't want to compete. And that was totally different today, totally different outcome. Our guys competed for however many minutes this game ended up being. Their guys competed. So it's a good game. It's a good game as a fan to watch, wasn't it? See, maybe it's a lot easier for me to sit here and say that than when you're Kevin.
It wasn't a memorable 30-plus point game, but when the game was on the line, Otto comes through again for you.
It was very memorable for me. It's going to be memorable for you too, right?
Definitely.
He makes winning plays. He makes winning plays. Coming down at the end right there, I said, let's get a stop. And then let's just get Otto and go. Let's just push it. And if I didn't like what I saw, I was going to call timeout. I didn't want to call timeout to let them set up their defense. I thought if we got a stop, we could have. What ended up happening, we might have an outnumbering situation. We might have an advantage in transition, stuff that we work on. So I said, if we get it, let's just push it. And if I don't like what I see, I'll call timeout. And we got the ball to the right person, and he got to the rim.
What you try to do with their backcourt to kind of frustrate them early?
Didn't work, did it?
Early on.
They are terrific. There's no other way to put it. That those two guys, and they're really good because every team that plays them, you go in with the scouting report on how we're going to try to negate them, and you can't do it. You can't do it, and they do a very good job. And I don't mean to clump Napier and Boatwright together, but I am. A very good job of just as soon as you overcommit to one of them, boom, they kick it to Daniels and he's banging the shot. They kick it to Omar, he's banging the shot. And so, they do a good job of getting their own and then also setting up the guys that they have around them. Now to answer your question specifically, we wanted to try to crowd it. We wanted to try to take away, believe it or not, I don't know how many they ended up, 11. We wanted to try to limit the amount of threes that they got off. Didn't work.
John, do you see a difference in a Jim Calvin coached UConn team and Kevin Ollie coached UConn team?
Well, there are a lot of differences, but at the core, I think it's the same. And what I mean by that is they're not necessarily doing the same sets. They're doing, Kevin has his own imprint stamp on it, but at the same time, they're playing tough, they're playing together, they're working hard. Everything that has made Connecticut basketball successful down through the years is still there.
The flat-footedness you sense from your players that you described in the first half, do you think in any way that was attributable to just the emotional letdown or the exertion of the Syracuse game, all that went into that?
Well, no.
Okay.
Well, let me see a couple things. Remind me that you used the phrase flat-footedness. Coming into this game, I was very worried because you spend the last couple of days, with everyone telling them the best thing since sliced bread. And so, try to have a couple tough practices, nip that in the bud and bring it back down to earth. But then we came out, I thought, I wouldn't categorize the whole performance as flat-footed because I thought we were pretty good on defense. It's just offensively we were stagnant. Offensively we were very, very stagnant. And so do I attribute that to the last game? No, I think this group has an understanding, they better, and I think they do, that from yesterday is irrelevant, particularly in this league. We can't live Syracuse win, a great win, Connecticut win, a great win. Now we got to go get ready for a tough Rutgers in a couple days, or you get yourself in trouble in this conference.
Questions for Otto?
Otto, obviously you had the last laugh between you and Daniels, but how tough of a matchup was he for you?
Very tough matchup. He's a terrific player, by the way. He was just setting ball screens and popping, and we just had a miscommunication with that. He's a tough kid. He was knocking down shots when they needed it.
How about for you on offense, though, him defending you?
He's about the same size as me. He was just playing good defense, trying to make it hard for me, clogging up the paint, things like that, rebounding. I think he got maybe 10 rebounds. He was terrific.
What were you trying to do in the final possession? Obviously, Coach said, you get a quick push. I think it was 5 on 4. They might have one back. Were you just trying to get it to the rim?
First, we were trying to get the stop first. That's what I was worried about first. And then once we got it, I just sprinted the lane. And Devontae was able to hit me, and I saw Mikal sprint to the rim. So I was able to use him, to get to the rim.
Let me just cut you off, because that is something that Michael overlooked. During the course of that possession, I thought, when Otto caught the ball, Mikal Hopkins did a very good job of sealing his man, so that Otto was able to get that clean pass to the rim. That's one of those things that doesn't show up in the stat sheet, that may not show up in the highlights, but that was a key play by Hopkins that allowed him to get to the rim. Sorry.
After starting on in the first half, was there one particular play, one particular basket where you felt like you got it going and you were back to normal, so to speak, in the second half?
I can't remember.
Nothing that calmed you down or anything?
Just probably free throw.
So you may have touched on this before, but you talk about yesterday not mattering, especially in this league. How about failing to hold the lead in the last 10 seconds and being able to rebound from that? 5 minutes ago didn't matter.
No, I said that. This before you came in, I said this is, like I said, it's easier for me to say this than it would be for Kevin to say this. But this was a terrific basketball game. We had both teams. They could have packed it in and quit, and they didn't. They fought back from a double-digit deficit with, I think it was 3 or 4 minutes left. And we could have been totally dejected. We go down. Markel misses a foul shot. They bang a 3. It goes into overtime. And Markel's one of our better free throw shooters. Both teams had the opportunity to pack it in, and neither did. And, we fortunate enough that the clock ran out and we were on top, but, you know, just, I think they showed a terrific will to win, as did we.
Any more questions?
John, their season's done on March 9th, they're not coming to New York. Any thoughts on that as the Big East kind of crumbles, and you guys have won 7 tournaments, they've won 7 tournaments?
You know, it's, you know, I sit here, and the people that cover us regularly have heard me say this, you know, as the coach of Georgetown University, and also as a lifelong Big East fan. And it's hard, sometimes it's hard to wear both hats, you know, but actually it's not being a coach of Georgetown University, it's the hat that I'm wearing, but, you know, but to see this terrific conference change and evolve, you know, as the fan, you know, it's I don't use the phrase sad, but you know, you get emotional, you think of all the memories, you think of everything, that all the traditional schools that have been there from day one have brought, and, you know, and it's an evolution, good, bad, right, wrong, it's an evolution, and teams are leaving, we're breaking off, it's going to be different, it's going to be much different. You know, I feel pretty good about where we're heading, and with the gentleman that's coaching them, I'm sure the one associated with Connecticut feels pretty good about where Connecticut's heading also. But it's going to look different. It's going to be different. That's, unfortunately, or fortunately, we'll see. That's life.
Thank you.